Hi, my name is Elizabeth Gallo, and this is my presentation for Dr. Fuller's World Literature class. I'm doing my presentation on Louise Labe. Louise Labe lived from 1520 to 1566 in Lyon, France. She's considered the most widely read female poet of the French Renaissance. Her father was Pierre Charlet. He was a wealthy rope maker in Lyon. Labe's mother was Charlet's second wife, and her name was Antoinette Labe. They married around 1515. Together they had 5 children, including Labe. Her mother died in 1523 and her father remarried. Not much is known of her early years, including how she got her education. Her father was illiterate, but he was very interested in education. He actually made large monetary contributions to the Collège de la Trinité. She may have gone to the Collège de la Trinité or the convent school called Les Desartes. Either way, she was really fortunate to have lived during this time period because education would not have been available for her women in her class previous to that. She lived in Lyon and married a rope maker named Edmond Perrin around 1543 or 1545. While Labe is widely read, she only has a few works. She has 1 prose work, 3 lyric poems called elegies, and 24 sonnets. Her prose work is called Ouvre, and it's split into 2 parts. The first is a feminist preface that urges women to write. The second part is called The Debate Between Folly and Love. To quote Lance Donaldson Evans in his biography about Labe, this work is a dramatized fable in which Folly, who is here included in the Roman pantheon, and Cupid are on their way to a banquet hosted by Jupiter and begin to argue about their respective importance in the universe. The quarrel turns violent when Cupid shoots an arrow at Folly. She eludes it by making herself invisible, then retaliates by gouging out Cupid's eyes and covering the empty sockets with a blindfold that is impossible to remove. Cupid complains to his mother, who is Venus. She appeals the dispute to Jupiter. Each side is assigned an advocate. Cupid and Venus are represented by Apollo, Folly by Mercury. Apollo begins the debate by crediting Cupid with everything that is good and admirable in the world. In his summation, he asks Jupiter to restore Cupid's sight and place Folly under Cupid's authority. Mercury finds as much to say in Folly's favor as Apollo had to say in praise of Cupid. According to Mercury, Folly makes the world go round and is at the root of all the advances of civilization. He goes on to maintain that the two form an inseparable union and that Cupid will lose his sway over the human race if he were not aided by Folly's handmaidens, who are ignorance, nonchalance, hope, and blindness. The gods and goddesses of Olympus are divided in their opinions as to the respective importance of love and folly. Jupiter finally announces that he is postponing judgment, and in the meantime, he orders the two to live peaceably together and commands Folly to lead Cupid. He will be given back his sight if the fates so ordain. Some say this story is the key to reading Labe's poems and sonnets, and interestingly, she never picks a victor for her story. Her 3 elegies are in the style of the Heroides of Ovid. I would like to again use a quote, this time from Edwina Spodart, from her article titled The Women of Louise Labe's Elegies. She does a really good job summarizing the elegies, and she says, "It's not surprising to discover, then, that the common element in Labe's 3 elegies resides in the exemplary nature of the 3 individual persona portrayed in the poems. The first elegy offers the example of the metamorphosis effected by the love experience in a woman who, by sublimating the pain of her love in poetry, displays self-assuredness, intelligence, and courage. The second of Labe's elegies depicts a woman ostensibly forsaken by her lover, who nevertheless reacts to this adversity with exceptional fortitude, initiative, and ingenuity. The third elegy presents the drama of a highly educated woman's frank appraisal of the nature of love and her relationship to it, from her shameless acceptance of love to her continual desire for it. A rapid examination of the salient characteristics of each of these personas suggests that Labe may have developed these 3 women in order to illustrate the attributes that she believed best described women of the 16th century. Labe's sonnets draw on traditions of Neoplatonism and Petrarchism. She used her sonnets to portray the desires of women in terms that were not common for her times. The theme of her sonnets are longings, torments, and satisfactions of passionate love. Her first sonnet is in Italian. The rest of the sonnets are in French. Again, quoting Donaldson Evans, the change in language signals the subversion that the Petrarchan tradition will undergo in Labe's sonnets. Labe has shown that she is capable of writing a Petrarchan sonnet in excellent Italian, but she chooses instead the idiom of her own country, which was struggling to assert the worth of its language in the face of the prestige of Greek, Latin, and the one Romance language that had established its nobility in the eyes of Europeans in the 16th century, which is Italian. Labe's poetry also subverts the traditional Petrarchan model of the cruel woman dominating a helpless, passive male victim who attempts to woo her with his poetic skills. Here the woman suffers at the hand of an indifferent male whom she tries to persuade to return to her love. She does so through the traditionally male activity of writing poetry. In summary, Louise Labe was a poet who lived in the 16th century in France. She only had a few works, but they portrayed her feminist beliefs. I would like to share that I read some people who called her a courtesan or a common whore and belittled her husband, which I think is because of her feminist beliefs, which were really uncommon for that time period. Labe died in 1566, shortly after the plague swept through Lyon. Thank you.